There's a reason the government fused sports, arts, and culture together. That combination, it's unstoppable. Now, the two disciplines have a great impact on people, and I know personally my mission is to always reflect on that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today has had a great impact on both these industries, from representing a university, and the university.
All the way.
Hey, we couldn't even hold it back, man. As an MC, to being a sports coach, to even coordinating some of the greatest sporting events in the land. Ladies and gentlemen, even I myself as an MC, I'm personally excited to chat to this king. And I don't just play around with words, king. Royalty. There's plenty of respect. But before our listeners get to know who I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sport Chat with your boy Ren-D, aka Ren-D, your number one MC. Yes, man. I hope the listeners are clapping their hands. It sounds nice, that ain't
you know what it is.
My king. And before we get into touching base with this great guest, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder to all our listeners worldwide, because we are digital, we have no boundaries. Do make sure you touch base with us on our social media at thd.24 and speak to me. Don't be shy. Again, it's following, man. Not just funama 30,000, 50,000 followers, guys. Please, let's have this conversation at Rendani_NO1MC. Now, I want to do this nice because, I believe this king, we ain't handy hip hop, So, in the words of Lil Wayne, Weezy, Young Moolah, baby, every rapper want to be an athlete and every athlete want to be a rapper. Now, we're not talking about rapping per se, but he makes a good point about how sports and entertainment are linked. It's that thing is sportainment. So big shout out to the crew as well, man. Today's guest, ladies and gentlemen, is a former athlete just like myself. I can relate definitely, and I know sports is more than an activity to him. It is also a lifestyle. And we take care of our families because of sports, even though the six-pack might not be there. But it's pending. It'll come back. From athletics to rugby, then from rugby to cricket, this man wanted it all.
You can't leave any stone unturned.
Nah.
You've only got one life to live.
That's it.
You know what it is.
I see that, king, and I respect that so much. This man certainly wanted it all, ladies and gentlemen. But yet again, he didn't stop there. He then transcended into entertainment aspect of sports, becoming UJ's Varsity Cup first ever sheriff. Now, I know certain people will remember this. There's no man who rocked that tuxedo like this man did. Even some of us took the walk, I know he's going to say it with me. When I say UJ, you say all the way. I know, I guess. Even our listeners worldwide are going, okay. I'm sure the Vits and the tax people are going, whatever.
But they know what it is.
They know. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this man paved the way for people just like myself. And I know he continues to inspire the next generations. And for that, we truly are grateful, my king, So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to waste any time. I want to introduce this king straight up as he is. Make some noise for Baphiwe Mfundisi.
Yo, what's up?
This is where I know Kuksu Zofari.
Let's hear it.
Oh man, King, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming through, man.
It's a pleasure, man.
I'm so happy because I know this moment was meant to happen a long time ago, but God's timing is perfect timing, yeah?
Overdue, but his time is his time.
It's his time, man. Bonga kakhulu, King. And I just want to give, people must understand why I'm so excited about today, man. For those who know, obviously, he MC, the number one MC. And I know my journey when it comes to that started, you shaped me. When it came to that. Being a hype man before being an MC. And this man taught me all the properties, the professional aspect of it, recognizing a client. And I know we're going to, jump into that in the conversation. Yeah, but before that, Baphiwe, for the people who don't know who you are, just give us a brief understanding. Ngubani, my king.
Yeah, man. So first of all, thanks so much, Touch HD Sports Chat with Ren-D. My name is Baphiwe Mfundisi, a young man born of a Xhosa king, all the way from King Williamstown.
Cheers, sir.
Transcended into Joburg, and sportainment is my thing.
Yes.
Like you've mentioned, I've played sport. I've been in and around it. I've never left it. It's made me a living, and now it is my pleasure to be able to give back as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get into the gist of this conversation as we go.
I like that. What was prepared, Van Dijk?
Hey, man, you know what it is. You know what it is, man. You've only got one shot.
That's it. You know,
gotta take it.
Asimfagu MNF, guys. You know, but you know, my king. You know, I still wanna, because we're gonna build up the conversation. You know, we're not gonna beat around the bush. We're gonna get straight into it. But I want to know, you know, because you've got such a powerful profile, and there's many things you've achieved. You know, from the sporting side, being an athlete, to also the coordination side, the corporate side. You know, I'm sure this was part of the vision some way, and I want to know who inspired you, man, to be the man that you are today, and to take the channel that you've taken in the journey that you're living.
I'll tell you what, man. My greatest inspiration was not having. Let's be honest. I grew up with a single parent, which is my dad, and then later on the mom came into it. But my dad was my biggest inspiration in the fact that with the little that he had, he still made the most. He had a son that could run, God given, and look, I ran with it, man. So the inspiration there was being the oldest in the family, you know, having to push off and do the right things when we couldn't afford, and then when we could afford, I could still run with it. So I owe it definitely to that old man. Like he really pushed hard, although he couldn't say it. So that's why I'm living it.
Yeah, as about time,
hey, bro,
you know there's
what
that.
It is, man. But yeah, no, he played a really big part in my journey, and that's why whenever I'm imparting or whenever I'm having these chats, whether be it MC training or whatever, I've always got that dad vibe. A lot of people think it's a lot to do with being strict. No, it's not. It's a principle thing. You know, you gotta know the base. Once we move on from the base, we can go to the side shows. You know what it is.
You know what it is. I love the fact that, you know, you mentioned your dad almost like being a role model, you know.
That's exactly what it is, man.
Which is so weird to hear in today's society. Our time
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, if they're not running away, they're abusing our mothers and our sisters. You know, to have a father figure as a person who shapes you, you know. And I think there are some people who can relate to this, and there's some people who certainly can't, you know. To that, you know, wasn't that a bit challenging? Or because, I mean, you know, usually there's this perception or concept oguti the male is closer to the mother and the female is closer to the father. Didn't you find that as a bit of a challenge, Gangani?
So having said that, this guy is my role model, my hero, but we never got along, funny enough. So it was a tough relationship, but the one thing that he did teach me was what not to do. So he was like, if you're planning on doing something, then do it at 100%. So that when we fight, you can stand your own, and I can stand and be like, okay, cool. That was his decision. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't easy. He struggled along, and I struggled with him. We made something out of nothing, like I just said, and now I can impart those lessons. I mean, the entertainment factor is just a part of it. There's also that build up. You know, like I'm saying. So we can all have sideshows, but if there's not that backbone, and that's exactly what he was for me. He gave me that backbone. As much as we fought, but he set the tone.
I'm sure we're going to WWE.
Man, have you ever seen keys thrown around the corner? but it grew me, man. It made me strong. I mean, I can tell you mad stories. Like, he didn't have a car in a crash, and I used to walk to crash.
Wow,
like, man. Literally, because he didn't want to be late. You know, black parents, you can't be late. Got a white boss, you got to impress. So he literally used to leave me at home in the bath, and then he'd go off to work, and I used to walk to crash. I did 3 years of crash, and I walked whole time. And a lot of people look at that as negative, but it made me strong. You survived. I grew up very quickly, and it was one of his lessons, because he couldn't say it. Like, he did it. And now I'm a man, and now I can stand on my own, and I can be like, should I thank him, or should I just, you know, it's one of those things.
It's tough love.
But look at me.
Exactly. Look at the results of it, you know?
Exactly.
Who knows? Maybe the walking to crash brought in that sprinting, you know?
This is what I'm saying. Because remember, we came to Joburg in 91, so we stayed in a predominantly white neighborhood at that time. My dad was a journalist, so he could afford that. And the white folk on the street used to leave their gates open. Imagine that walk to crash every morning. You got a school bag that's heavier than what you are. So I was bound to be quick, man.
I just saw the vision. I saw this whole picture. And already okay, you've got the bag, you're already timing.
I learned how to tie shoes quickly because you needed to run. I learned with the bag, there's a way that you strap it and you tie it up and make sure it doesn't leave your back. And look, I became an Eastern Cape champion.
Come on.
Eastern Province Athletics.
Come on.
SA Games.
Come on.
It all came from somewhere.
It
might have not been good at the time. But look what I made of it, or look what he shaped of me.
Blessings in disguise. That's what I'm talking about. And I love the fact that you mentioned some of your achievements, because it's a profile of my king. Let the people know, man. Let the people know, I just want to highlight some of the great achievements that, you've accomplished in your lifetime thus far, because there are many more coming, of course. This is just the beginning.
Only the beginning.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned Eastern Province Under 18 Craven Week. And I'm sure that's where a lot of things changed. And then all of a sudden, what the essays, Under 18P, vice captain, no leadership.
You know what it is, and look at God. The captain got injured in the first half, so who kept him?
Come on. So you're the captain. See, that guy's captain. You need to update the profile.
It's all in the work, man. Look, the sporting might be over, but those achievements will always be there. It always gives you a step through the door. But look, it's 2019. You're building the younger ones. You want to make sure that they've had a better trip than that of your own. So this thing counts on paper at times, but that's just my story. There's a lot of stories, a lot like mine, that we still need to tell. There's a lot, and we'll get into it.
I love that, King. And I'm still dwelling on your achievements, because that was high school.
Stop, man.
Let's take it to the next level. We have the University of Johannesburg in 2011, where obviously Bodlali second team at that time.
Man.
And then in 2010, Ivasti Cup. I mean, that was a big one, because I remember watching you. At that time I was playing for the Lions, all right? So obviously you're watching Ivasti Cup now. It's this new concept, and this keep on Webkweleso Stadium,
man.
And I remember you on the wing. I will never forget that. And I was like, a
lot of people didn't see me, and that was just the pace, man. You gotta be that quick. You gotta see the numbers.
they couldn't keep up.
Shout out to John Cena.
They can't see you, brother. And I remember you. I'm sure you remember Ulwando Mapenge. We used to be the same wrestling rugby together.
Man dear to my heart.
And I remember he was the one who would speak about you so highly. It's like, Baphiwe, this man, and apparently you told him to be fast. If stretch my hamstring, that's it,
bro.
Keep the hamstring going.
I said, it starts with the base.
How
are you gonna run if the thing's stiff?
You
gotta stretch it out, bro.
Stretch it out.
You know what it is.
That's the secret. And I remember I keep that because those are the things I took with me. It shows there were seeds planted, and these are conversations we've never had. For those who are listening right now, I've never told you about the hamstring thing. First time.
First time I've heard it.
So for me, it shows with whatever you do and sometimes say, you might not think it might be impactful in the future. Kanti ina a long-lasting effect, But I don't wanna romanticize things, There are, from the great moments, there are also negative moments. And I mean, I can speak from a rugby player perspective, or junior professional, let's put it that way. Having played Craven Week and Academy for the Bulls, moving to the Lions, the similar, things. Let's go to race, my king. I see Beggar straight, because Leo, this is digital online radio,
Let's do it,
see Beggar straight,
Let's put it on.
I want to make people understand the psychology of a black athlete playing rugby. Now, people might think that, look, it's nice, you're getting the benefits, but I believe we had to work 10 times harder than the other athletes. The reason being, if you make one mistake, man, it's like shubil,
It is.
And I want to know about the challenges that you faced. I mean, that was just one aspect from looking at it. What are some of the major challenges that you faced in your sporting career when you were playing for the Bulls as well, when you were playing for the Lions, when you were playing for UJ Varsity Cup, SA schools, as a black man? What did you face?
There were definite challenges, Ren-D. I won't lie to you, as many or more than the achievements, to be really honest. Because remember, I went to a high school in the Eastern Cape. I was picked up because F&B Classic Clashes started televising schools on TV. So the commentator loved the way I ran, and literally he picked me into that SA school.
Wow.
So no one in the country had seen me until that game, and I was then drafted. But going back to the challenges, it really was rough, because you leave the Eastern Cape, you come to Johannesburg, they've given you this contract. It seems big, but it's actually just chump change, and we used to call it junior contracts at the stage. So imagine this, you come from the Eastern Cape, you get to Pretoria, and I had a junior contract with the Blue Bulls at the time. 19-year-old coming into this environment. I'd never been to a gym. I'd never known how it felt,
conditioning,
to pick up weight,
and all of that,
that type of stuff. So I was really light, but I was talented. So like you had a tough time off and on the field. So a little bit about off the field. You wouldn't get 3 meals a day.
Exactly.
They're giving you change, bro. Your parents want to see you succeed, go to school rather. So they're not investing in you as a black boy playing rugby, etc. So the white boys were getting 3 meals a day. They've got supplements, they've got everything. You come to training and you guys have both got to perform the same. Like, so let's talk about basics. You don't get a fundamental, which is 3 meals, and you're trying to compete against these guys. They've got cars, they've got gym contracts, they've got supplement endorsements. So those were some of the challenges. And of course, you get to the Blue Bulls, it's Afrikaans. That was a huge challenge for me, bro. Like coming from Union High, you'd think that I'd know Afrikaans, but I didn't care because my dad was so derogatory about it. It was so negative, so it was never part of me. Like, I crammed my Afrikaans exam in matric, so like that's the only way I passed.
You speak on behalf of many.
So I get to the Blue Bulls and all the instructions are in Afrikaans. Like, no one is giving you a heads up. You just gotta follow. It seems like you're out of sorts. You're not the coach's favorite. Now I'm a black man looking at this white man. Now my dad was in jail when I was born. So I've already got a negative sentiment towards these people. And the guys that are making it, are cutting it into the team, are the guys that go up to the coach after training. Coach, how can I do this? And here I was taught from a young age that the white man is not the greatest thing. So that became a challenge for me. Like, I couldn't be one of those guys. What would we call them? The teacher's pet. I was never one of those guys.
Follow up,
is that put me on the field.
That's it.
You're not gonna catch me now.
That's it.
And they knew that. So man, it was tough making it into the team. It was really rough. And then the injuries came because I'm not high performance enough. Our high schools didn't have gyms. I'm hitting bench presses. I was benching 40 kilograms when I was 19. The other boys were like 80 to 100. And they'd get judged on that. Like, they'd really put it
part
down.
of the criteria.
It's part of the criteria. And you're like, but because I didn't have this thing as a fundamental, as developmental at an early stage, I didn't know. I was starting to come into it. So the injuries came. So I tore hamstrings. I tore my groin. I've had many ops. When I started to get into it and I started to learn how this gym thing works, I then broke my arm. I was part of the SA under 20 squad. We played in France, came back, played a practice game in Wellington. Broke my arm last minute of the game, a week away from the tournament. So just imagine, I've had all these challenges, starting from food. Now I'm in this high performance place, talented, but my body can't take it.
And people don't understand the psychology of dealing with an injury on its own, how depressing that stage is,
and to try and get back.
It's not easy.
It's insane.
It's not easy, especially if you don't have the resources, the support systems. Even if you do, Nakona, you're still black.
And your parents won't say, okay, I'll take you to Dr. So-and-so. As soon as you get hurt, they say, come home. That's the only support you have. Exactly.
And they don't call it rugby. Le wrestling,
Man, it was so tough. Like, I think my dad would have been happy if I was a teacher. But I was happy to be where I was because I wanted to challenge myself. But the challenges, like I said, they mounted, bro. We ended up not being Springboks, which was the journey. But there was a lot of stuff in between. I mean, that time South African rugby was in a really, really bad place. They had to introduce quotas. So if blacks couldn't make it into the Springbok side, how were we going to make it into a blue Bluebulls Afrikaans team.
Yeah.
That was a huge challenge.
I want to jump in there because, it's like you took the words right out of my mouth. And I know, 1 hour is not enough to touch on all these things, man, So I'm going to try and squeeze this out, and take out a bit from here and here. Now, the quota system, it's been debated, and I'm sure a lot of people are not going to be happy with our views, or perhaps some might agree. That's the whole point of radio, to create an engagement.
Sure.
For me, I support it. Personally, I'm not going to even lie about it, because I feel like at least it's a way of trying to correct the imbalances. I'm not even talking about the current situations,
sure,
but the imbalances of the past. We know rugby is a predominantly a white sport, and we know the decision makers, the selectors, are all white majority. Let's put it that way.
If not all of them.
If not all of them,
blacks are just packing the kit and packing the bags in the bus.
Exactly.
That type of thing.
Exactly, team manager. But I want to get your view on that in a quick space before we get into more nitty-gritty information. Quota system, what's your view on it?
I think, firstly, let me start off and explain it this way. I think in South Africa, we suffer from not being able to talk about things.
Yeah.
So when we try and fix problems, we try come up with a solution without having had a forum of sort to say, what was the wrong? How can we make it right? Is it going to give us the right outcome? We didn't do that.
Yeah.
So quota system was a great idea, in my opinion, because it was merely because they weren't willing to share the IP. We had to create something of our own. So you have to have a certain number of black people so that a black child can be able to aspire and see a brother and want to be there.
Yeah.
Now the country's changed. It's no longer white under apartheid anymore. Everybody must have an opportunity. So quota system for me was a great thing. How we went about it though was, for me, suspect. I don't think you can put a number to it, because talent you can't. But I think they started it off wrong. They should have started in the offices, not on the field. Change the core fundamentals of the team. Have black trainers, have black coaches, because these guys will then give us the opportunity. Don't force an Afrikaans white man to choose a black man, because you're creating negativity between him and the player, even if the player is good enough. So for me, I think we missed out that part where we were supposed to talk about it and how we were going to measure it. Was it a good idea? Yes,
certainly. And I think also, just to add on a little bit, we know Guti, and this is where I kind of have a problem, but we don't want to piss off our politicians. Sisawafuna matenda, we still want them tenders, but we don't want to piss off our politicians. But I think sometimes the political interference also disrupts the progress. But yet again, you got to balance it out. Without them, the quota system would not have been, enhanced. But sometimes the approach, like you mentioned, it disrupts just the quality of what could be achieved out of this.
So in my opinion, politics plays a huge role in everything in the country. You've got to start there to be able to start changing the cogs and the functions of any system. So yes, political influence might be wrong, but they fail to flesh out what the issues were. So now you're trying to rush black guys onto the field, and now you're setting a guy up to fail, because as soon as that guy fails, the white media is going to now take him out of the team, because we didn't deal with the issue. What is the issue? Black men, black women are not slow. They're not we are not without talent. The only thing that we lacked and still do is opportunity. But who's going to give that opportunity? Whoever's giving that opportunity has got to back you, and not just put you in. Like you've seen it. Black players starting, when he comes off, who comes on? They never take off a white guy for a black guy. But black on black, because they're just trying to fulfill this quota thing, because we've missed the fundamental, and politicians are frustrated. Remember, these guys didn't have anything either, so now they've got money, now they've got power. Professor Lumumba said it well.
Work balance.
Those with power lack ideas. Those with ideas don't have power. The only thing the black man lacks is opportunity.
I love that. Once again, man, listen to the wisdom. Lalali experience, man. Lalali experience. And he even dusted his shoulder. You gotta love the greatness. And once again, to our amazing listeners worldwide, that's the great thing, you know. And I must mention this, a big shout out to our Iraq listeners. You know, sometimes we mention other things. We mention certain things, you know, so I'm correcting things. Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, shout out to you guys. This is worldwide, you know.
Man, we're changing things. They're not my friend, they are brothers.
Hey! You gotta love it. And just in case you just tuned in, man, of course, this is Baphiwe Mfundisi, a legend in my eyes, because, man, I know I'm standing here. He's actually planted certain seeds, a true leader. My king, askayegi the deep conversations, you know. I really want to talk about women in sports, and I want to specifically speak about, and I'm not taking away other races, but let's start with black women. Let's start specifically with how black women are treated when it comes to sports in South Africa. And of course, you can bring in other women in general, you know, but there's certain things we just can't ignore. Aspege I banyana banyana, you know. Let's look at Ukasta Semenya. You know, I mean, even when it comes to no matter how great you can be, you still come second best. Like even if you are designed to be the greatest, and not second best because, you know, it's your ability. Nah, it's because of the external forces against you. You know, patriarchy manje. This is where we must have a real G talk as brothers, because Amachita, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about how much we benefit from being the man, you know. Well, yeah, that's my woman. I'm the head, you know, and all of this. And in sports, it's so evident. I mean, look at the leadership when it comes to investment, when it comes to female sports. I think it's extremely questionable. You know, it's like it's not a priority. And let's measure the performance rate. Aspegi Banyana Banyana with Bafana. I mean, Banyana Banyana have performed superbly. They've qualified for a World Cup with limited resources. You know,
almost close to nothing.
With nothing, you know, till this day, the only way they can make the little peanuts that they get, the small money that they get, is by qualifying for the national team. In their club structures, there's no money.
Nothing.
You know, and remember, they go up against teams where in England, Netherlands, Spain, where these people are dedicated to their sporting codes fully. They're not, you know, accountants and then go practice afterwards. Whereas our queens, man, they have to still take care of the household based on the patriarchy. They have to still deal with the abuse and still go to the practices, irrespective of a sporting code. I want to just get your view on that. And perhaps, man, this conversation is not new. That's another thing, you know, but it's also not consistent. And it's also Mbona Amachita, we don't have this chat.
No, we don't.
So Ankai viewpoint Yako, and, you know, highlight some of these things you've noticed around that, and maybe what is the way forward, because we need to start practicalizing the solutions and not just, you know, theorizing them and throwing out words and great English, but aksena progress at the end of the day.
Hey, Ren-D, it's a deep subject. Let's tell stories. So ever played a game of Tetris? And you've put blocks down, but you left a space open. It's difficult to break down that little one until you get all these other blocks out of the way. That's exactly what's happened in South Africa. We've got a huge problem in this country purely because the white male was dominating not just the black man. So they dominated the wife. She couldn't work. She must stay at home. Then they went and dominated the black male. How do you dominate people? That's a different conversation. But now you dominated two classes of people. The last one in the chain is black women. Because now this black woman,
bottom of the hierarchy,
actually the strongest, because these women have worked in these white houses for years, like close to zero pay, not being respected, kids calling them by name, kids shouting at our mothers, and now we take it to sport. These women have been filed, put on the shelf, and almost left to die. We are not breaking ourselves down to try and understand. We're not having the conversation to say these people are as much a part of society as we are. Now, take you back. In black homes, the strongest person in that home is a mother. She has to wash the clothes, she has to bathe the kids, she has to give birth to the kids, she has to keep the father happy, she has to cook. We are keeping the strongest link suppressed because of this white era called apartheid. They knew that we were powerful beyond measure, so they had to put in a system to squash us. 2019, we are still discussing how Banyana don't get the same pay as men. It's because we never had these conversations. In South Africa, I would say to any corporate that's listening right now, women's sport is ripe for the picking right now. One, it's untapped, it's new, it's unowned. I'm surprised that I don't have First for Women sponsorship for Banyana Banyana.
I wanted to jump in there, yes.
Because we've been systematically that Tetris block. We've been put into a situation whereby we cannot think for ourselves. I'm sure they've got a female CEO. Why is she not sponsored? It's because we've put these women, like I said, on the shelf. We put them on the back burners. And now, when they start shining, we're starting to say, but man. So wait, now she can wash, give birth, take care of daddy, and still go to the World Cup.
And be the best.
Come on now.
No, this is a god. Aye, straight up. Aye, lo nkulunkulu lo.
Most powerful beings. I believe. Women. That can do so much, and yet we're keeping them in a box.
What's the solution? What do we do? Because it's good that we're talking. Like I said, manje, obviously, Nati, we're limited in capacity, you know, and I know it starts with the conversation. That's the first step of a solution. But practically moving forward, sithatha kanjani? How do we ensure that this message is sent across and people are woke and saying, look, this is the most important person to actually, it's like an egg. You don't want to break it. You have to, we bambe kahle, you know. So how do we make sure that there's implementation? How do we hold our leaders accountable in order for them to start supporting, you know? Because Nakona, I love the fact that you mentioned Lumumba. Mina, I'll mention Kwame Nkrumah. You know, he literally said, yes, there's a colonizer, but be careful of the neo-colonialist. You're very old. You're very old, you know, because not is corner, but you know, Nakona, some others want to benefit themselves and it compromises. So how do we move forward in a practical way, saying, look, let's start making this something significant and let's start creating positive change?
I'm surprised at how our politicians, corporate, don't see it. If we could create a quota system for male-dominated rugby, what's stopping us for doing it for women?
Come on,
Maybe we don't know what the solution is, but we didn't when we created the quota system. So let's start by equality. Let's make equal pay. Let's say if we're all going to be on the same playing field, let's all get the same share of the fruits. Start there. Because you don't know what that does to society. We've put all the pressure on black men to try and feed our homes and do all the right things. Put a black woman next to him. Imagine that powerhouse. Start with equality. That's all we're asking for. If you've got a PSL, have a women's league. Even if it's smaller, even if it's on not as a bigger stage as what it is, but give them an opportunity. That thing that we lack. Opportunity. Now the women in this country have shown over and over again that they are talented, that they are better, that they are strong. The only thing we haven't given them is an opportunity to showcase that. I'm saying, if the guys are getting paid 50, then pay them 45, not 5. It's like a conversation I was having with a white male friend of mine who's a farmer, and he's got tons of money. He was like, I worked hard for my money. I'm never going to give it away. I'm saying, dude, if you've got 100 million and I'm saying, give me 25, you still 50,000 or 50 million more richer than me. It's not that I've surpassed you, but I'm saying, give me a piece of the bread so that I can live comfortably. And that's all our women need. We just need to elevate them, put them on the same level, and then let's take it from there. That for me is I don't know if it's right, but it's a start. We did it with the quota system. Why can we not do it for women?
I think your surname just says who you are as well. I don't want to lie to anyone. Kushoti hallelujah la, kushoti amen. I won't lie to you. Baphiwe Mfundisi, you gotta love this man. I'm so inspired right now because Yazini, what you're saying in a logic, it's not just words you can throw out. Practical.
How are we not seeing it? We did it for men, and yet what are we doing? We are breaking down the strongest part of society. These women are literally that, and we are breaking them down. For me, Caster Semenya, you know that black part of the South African national flag? That's what Caster is.
Caster. Oh, that was deep though.
That's what she is to me, because she's flying alone. She's at the top of this thing, and they're still trying to take her down. And she's not quitting. Name me one man besides Nelson Mandela that did that.
You're making me think. Cooks, that's another. I'm telling you right now. Yeah.
For me, that woman represents all that is wrong and that is right with our society.
Yeah.
No one is fighting for her. Even the women are. So we've got powerful businesswomen in this country, and they can't even come to her support because they're not getting support from the rest of us. Men, we need to stand up for these women.
And men, we need to also stand up against the nonsense we keep on doing to the queens. You know,
straight up.
Yeah, one of these conversations that we keep on entertaining. I did this.
Bro,
that needs to stop. You know,
and then you get a confident lady that can tell you that she can do the same, and all of a sudden we're giving her names.
Exactly. Who are we? Ungathi asina identity. But kumnandi. I told you, when we're having a good time, ladies and gentlemen, the devil likes messing with us, man. I'm already looking at the clock. I'm like, why though? You know, King, I want to jump into something before, and I don't want to leave out that, but I know that you're gonna be back. We have to continue this conversation, Leona, especially when it comes to the imbalances holistically. I think you've raised some key points that even I had never thought of, you know. So a big shout out. That's why Fantasy continue. Can we agree that you will be back when it comes to that discussion?
I had the greatest welcome on Touch HD. I am home.
Yes.
Like my man Thibaut Touch said,
yes.
I'm home for the first time.
You just got me a promotion. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'm in, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do this, you know. But before we wrap things up, you know, I know you currently hold a position when it comes to head of marketing and match day operations at Awesome, and that's Varsity Sports, linked Varsity Cup. And tell us a bit more about this role, you know. And I think let the world know, because I think this man has the best job in the world, guys. This man has the best job in the world. Like,
it's not glamorous though.
Yeah.
Looks good from the outside.
Yeah.
Man. So my new title is now head of match day and broadcast.
Okay.
Now all that means is I handle all the sponsors' ROIs on a match day. So we approach sponsors and we ask them for money, and they say why, and we say because we're experts in creating sporting events, and we've got people with high profiles like Franz Opina. They give us the money, and we then churn out all these sporting codes such as cricket, rugby, etc., just to name a few. And then we go back to the sponsor and we say, now that you've given us this money, what are you trying to achieve? So I'll make an example. FNB is a very big sponsor of ours. What are they trying to do? They're trying to sell accounts. I take that on a match day and I turn that around. So I want to come up with cool activations, cool ways of keeping people in the stadium and still saying that, listen, how can we help you? That's literally my job. I don't really have a job description. I think it's based on a lot of or based on the creation of the word spontaneous. Now Francois Pina coined that phrase. He said that sport is one thing, but there's another element to it, and that's lifestyle. So there's that guy or woman that's already coming to the stadium. We're marketing to the one that's not coming. So we're saying, we're going to market, you're going to come here, but when you get here, we're going to blow the roof off, and you're going to keep coming back. So that's what we do, and that's what gives life to me being the head of match day. I take sponsorship, I turn it around, I make sure that whoever comes to the game comes out with an experience. That's what it is. It's not just about the code. It's about everything else. It's about activations. It's about having music. How do we influence music in the sport? How do we influence the sport itself? MCs, like we've mentioned earlier. So that's what I do on a daily. And
no, you have the best job in the world, man. You have the best job in the world.
My
man.
wife won't agree.
It goes without saying, though, and I've seen you on point, Moses Pani. You know, this man has a walk, ladies and gentlemen. This walk this man has. I think he got it from a UJ Sheriff. Well, it was, you should see him in the suit there. And I think I remember, because you were the first generation. Let's put this out there. Baphiwe was the first generation of the sheriff. Say UJ, and then it inspired myself to jump in, and I became the second generation of the UJ sheriff. And then we have a great man as well who followed up, Melody Mia as well, third generation of UJ sheriff. And ever since, you the one who introduced it, who all to the brand around it. And I keep on laughing whenever I go to YouTube and I watch some of the videos we did. with play guns.
Oh man, the sheriff is in town.
The sheriff is in town, And I mean, that atmosphere of being around the stadium, there's no greater fulfillment. I mean, especially because you play professional rugby, and we did have ambitions to go into the professional side, go to the highest level, and not achieving that, but living this side of it, being a part of it. I know it gives fulfillment, and I'm sure you know that feeling as well. So, I mean, I have a lot to thank you for, and as I said in the beginning of the show, I was a hype man, I was just a hype man. I could make the crowd go loud, and this man just brought me into shape and says, look, there's clients, there's properties, read, make sure you teach yourself, make sure the most important person or aspect you need to satisfy is the client. Without them, none of this is possible. So a big shout out to you, my king. A big shout. Today I call myself the #1 MC because it all started there, king. So to the world, just in case you were questioning where it all started, Ikale with this great man who I believe was over a pastor, a politician,
Which one pays more now?
Which one pays?
Hey, some pastors are rolling.
Hey, Baba. Hey. I promise you now it's a business, hey?
You know what it
is,
next
man. Thing was Spanish. That's my egg, Let's leave them, my king. We're reaching the end of our show, man, and I'm so inspired. It's too short. We have to do this again, but I know for sure there's something that I love doing in the show, and especially because you have so much wisdom and experience to share. Just words of inspiration, words just leaving something with the people that are listening. There's a black sister, a white sister, black boy, black brother, all of the diversities, and the demographics out there. But there's someone who needs these words right now. What message of inspiration would you leave them with, especially if they're directing their future into success?
Damn, I feel like this is an interview right now. I'll tell you what. Yeah. There are some lessons that we are taught, and there's some people that have a lot of wisdom but can't impart it on people. But I think the greatest lessons of my life came from a wise man, Data Bosman, and he gave me 5 P's. So, young sister, young brother, if you didn't hear anything else, it's all about the 5 P's. Yeah. Proper planning prevents poor performance.
And the 6th one, don't forget to pray.
Don't forget to. Look, if you plan and you prevent yourself from failing. Yeah. But failing to plan is planning to fail. Proper planning prevents poor performance. You take it and you make it your own. That's all I'm saying.
Rolling on my P. It's powerful today. I love this, man. I love it so much. King, we have this nice segment we put in, and this is how we wrap up the show. But before that, it would be so illegal to not talk about the RUGBY World Cup. I want to get predictions. I know the Northern Hemisphere is coming with some other things. The Southern Hemisphere, things are looking good for us now, but I think I don't want us to peak before the World Cup. I'm worried about that. I'm a Springboks, So I want to know, how do you think the Boks are going to perform? And top 3 World Cup.
I think there's a good chance that we're going to win it. Look, I was in Bloemfontein last night, and I was in the same hotel as the Springboks. Yeah. And the vibe is incredible. Yeah. The guys are trusting each other. The guys are liking each other. The guys are playing for each other. So that for me is like taken care of from a fan and emotional perspective. But I think Rasmus has really done well. Yeah. The last time I saw a team of this magnitude was 2007. And we all know what happened then. Yeah, I think we're in good hands. Yeah. I think if we don't end up in the final, we will definitely win this World Cup.
Do you think that opening fixture is going to determine a lot?
It won't. I think
against New Zealand.
When you meet too early with your arch nemesis.
Yeah.
I think it evens out. I don't think New Zealand will want to win the game, and I don't think New Zealand will want to beat us in that game, because they know should they beat us once, they're not going to do it again the second time. Yeah. So I'm not sure how that's going to land up, but I think that game is inconsequential. We'll make it out of the group stages. We'll meet beat the Northern Hemisphere teams, those are the teams that we need to beat. I think we need to be worried about Wales
and Ireland.
We need to be worried about Ireland. I think England, Eddie Jones might have a few tricks, and I should come back and chat to you about that.
Yeah.
But I think the Northern Hemisphere is what we need to be careful of.
Yeah.
Let's be really honest. We're playing a great brand of rugby, but those guys are churning out. They are playing that rugby.
Yeah.
You know how rugby started.
Yeah.
They are churning out games.
Yeah.
They are not scoring tries, but they're putting points on. So like you make a mistake, they're going to punish you.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that we pass that test, and then we'll meet New Zealand.
Cheers, sir.
Semi-finals or
Come on, Wales is not going to be there. Because Wales is ranked number 1 right now.
They ranked number 1, but I think the semi-finals will be Wales, South Africa, New Zealand.
Ireland.
That fourth team will be Ireland, definitely. I don't think Australia has it.
Nah.
I think there's too much stuff going on there. England is for me the dark horse, but definitely we need to watch out for those Northern Hemisphere
teams. Nah. Ziyobuya da. Ziyobuya. As long as bangaskayi Japan, somehow must Japan something goes wrong, man.
Hey, just don't touch the sushi, boys.
It's that sushi, man. It's that sushi. No eating sushi in a World Cup. That's rule number 1, man.
The nice thing is that they've hurt us.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that they don't do it
again.
That's where we are right now.
Yeah.
So I think in Japan, we've put it aside.
Yeah.
We're just worried about how we're going to do against New Zealand in that opening game.
Yeah.
And then the Northern Hemisphere teams. I don't think Japan will come close to
Okay.
us.
No. Argentina? Quick one.
Not good enough.
Okay. No, si valada. We're going to continue the conversation.
Please,
we're definitely going to continue it. But this is the last section of the show, right? Now, this is my favorite part. This is the fun part. You know, I think I'm a lecture. You know, no, my debate.
Yes, sir.
This is called, it's a 60-second questionnaire session. Woo. So you got 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. And I see the queen is here. The queen is here. Yeah.
Close your ears, baby. It might get dirty.
It might get dirty. Trust me, it might, but it's going to be very simple. And I know the record holder thus far, Portia Mudise, when we had. So she got to question 12.
Ooh, such a legend.
Yeah, legend. So we're going to go straight into it, all right?
Let's do it.
I see the clock is ticking. We've got 5 seconds to start it. 3, 2, 1. What do you never leave home without?
My cell phone.
Okay. What's your favorite workout?
Sit-ups.
Okay. Sit-ups. Okay, I see that. Who's your favorite athlete in any sport?
Usain Bolt.
Okay. Which would you rather eat when we're cheating as athletes? Chicken, wings, pizza, or burger?
Chicken.
Hey, chicken. Iliki. Yeah. In a hot sauce. Yeah.
Any day, all day.
What's your favorite country or place where you've played?
France.
Okay. And what's the best advice you've ever received and from who?
Ooh, she's here.
Cheers, sir.
Yeah, I think I've got a good wife, and she's given me the best advice.
Man, okay.
Hasn't been easy, but yes, she's.
I love that, and I see her smile, man. Hey, what's your favorite color?
Black.
We bambi leda. Favorite local soccer team and favorite international soccer team?
Kaizer Chiefs, Arsenal.
Abomapena. Yeah.
Have you seen us lately?
No, I see you guys.
Hello, Orlando Pirates.
Driving or flying?
Ooh, flying.
Okay, last 5 seconds. Boxers, briefs, or jogi?
Briefs.
Just like that, yeah? Chocolate or ice cream?
Chocolate.
Chocolate or ice cream? Chocolate. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
100%?
100%.
Okay, nah, we bumpy. I think the time has run out. I saw you thinking twice.
I am sweating. I'm sweating. Chocolate ice cream.
Chocolate ice cream. There we go, man. There we go. I've had the most amazing time, my brother, man.
Yeah, man.
I look up to you. You know that. You inspire me a lot. Man. You do a lot of great things, and you've planted many seeds. I say, you're not a rich man. You're a wealthy man, because I'm a network wako. They're too much,
Time to make them work.
It's time to make them work, and I think God's timing is perfect timing. Bonga kakhulu, my king. Your wisdom, your greatness, keep on reflecting it. There are people who are watching you. Remember, if you stop, you cut the next generation, and certainly you reflect the leadership, and that's certainly also my passion, and I define it as using our God-given influence to put people in better positions so that they're able to empower themselves as well as the generations that follow. Having the compassion to seeing other people prosper prosper, and you reflect that. I know Time is proud of you, certainly is. I know the Queen is proud of you. Bona smile, look, Shang smile. And
now.
And certainly I look forward to having you again right here on Sport Chats with Ren-D. Social media handles, where can people get a hold of you?
I am on Facebook, Baphiwe Mfundisi, Ikeke Lika Mfundisi _ on Instagram, and I'm Baphiwe Mfundisi on Twitter.
There we go.
Follow at your own risk.
As simple as that, man. Ladies and gentlemen, to our listeners worldwide, once again, it is Sport Chats with Ren-D. I had the pleasure, man, of sitting down with this great man, Baphiwe Mfundisi. Until we do it again, in fact, I see Vale, we've never done it together in a long time, you know? We haven't done it together in a long time, you know? So I don't know which one. Do you want to lead it? I'll take over. I'll take over. As the deputy sheriff back then and you were the sheriff, what would we tell our opponents, yeah?
So the one thing we used to ask always, UJ, are you ready?
Hey.
Ren-D, let's go.
Let's go.
UJ?
All the way.
Oh, man.
Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, Netsina Langande Rendani Chivuda, a.k.a. Ren-D, your number one MC. Yes, man. God bless.